Okay, yeah, so thank you for, to the organizers, of course, and welcome everyone here at SingularityNET. So let's see. Yeah, we do have the slides. Yeah, so I think that Arif's talk also sparked some questions, and so did Jan Peter's talk. So I might kind of like rebel against my own slides here and see wherever it takes us. Maybe first, so we already asked this question in the beginning, who does not know SingularityNET? Okay. You're like with few people, a minority, nice. So SingularityNET, let me just try to explain that. According to Ben Gertz, I can explain things in easy terms. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try. So SingularityNET is a decentralized marketplace where anyone can buy and sell AI services. Now, why the hell would you do that, right? Right now, we have a lot of centralized AI service marketplaces or API marketplaces. APIs are basically just, there's like some sort of, like I'm going to be explaining this in a non-technical term, hopefully. There is some sort of output that is exposed, like some data feed, and people can call this in to their apps, for example, such as the weather app or the navigation app to get to this place, for example. And you use that like that. You can also have this for AI services. So what SingularityNET aims to do is that anyone, and you're not limited into who, can actually sell these services and buy these services without any barrier. And this is all registered in a central, decentralized smart contract. I'm gonna make it already hard right now, right? I'll get to that later. So how can decentralized AI dominate the global AI ecosystem? So as Arif explained, we're not really interested in data oligopolies. So Facebook, delete your Facebook. Google, yeah, I'll admit I still use it. Microsoft, yeah, I have a Mac, but same thing with them, right? So we're not really interested in data oligopolies because they can abuse our data, or at least that's the way it is right now. I mean, maybe they'll change one day, right? Well, not Facebook. So what we are seeing from platforms and the relationships to their users is that they first attract them because they're first very valuable, and everyone wants to interact with this platform. Like developers, they think that Google is offering them great benefits to integrate the API services into their software. It's great stuff, and then as time passes through, it starts extracting from the developers. So the developers, they're not anymore the ones that are benefiting the most of this system. It's actually the companies themselves. And the same thing happens to people that are using the platform. So like with Facebook, I mean, you probably know like whose side chick you're texting right now. And yeah, I mean, you either want them to know that or not, right? So that is something that we don't want. And we also don't want an AGI oligopoly because Skynet. We don't want to. No, don't cheer for that. we don't want to live in a world where AI would be our biggest enemy. And the point is that AI is developing and developing, is becoming more and more advanced as we go towards the future. And the fact of the matter is, if you do not design for benevolent AGI and you do not work on that goal, I mean, we're lost for sure, right? There's this game, I think, I'm not sure if DeepMind created it, but it was with Google as well, where you had like four characters in a game, like four little balls, right? And they had to collect like apples or some like food in the game. And so they were first doing that, and they just tried to get the apples as quickly as possible. They were like AI agents in this game, right? And then what they did is they gave them lasers. So when they discovered that, hey, if I use my laser, I can actually kill a different ball, and then I have more chance to get more apples, then eventually, after a couple of iterations, they started killing each other first before getting the apples, right? So then like, okay, well, in some ways, when you're designing AI algorithms, perhaps for the future, it could maybe not go that well. So we kind of like have to teach them manners to behave like the way that we would like it to be, to have some, you know, benevolence in them for it to be good. So I won't be staying on this slide for too long, but obviously there is the unease with the corporate and the military control in AI, as we just discussed. And that is exactly the reason why you would want to create benevolent AI that is owned by the Commonwealth, everyone here in the room. Like we all own it together, so that it is in our own hands, and we can collectively decide what we want to do with this. So first, let me also just explain narrow AI versus general AI. Who here has heard of this comparison before? Okay, a couple of people did. So a lot of people also didn't. So narrow AI is an AI algorithm that is just good at one thing. So let's say that you have some sort of AI algorithm that, I mean, I don't know if this exists, probably not, but that could get you a beer. It's nice, right? But it can't get you a pizza. And that's exactly what general AI is when you have multiple AI algorithms combined together that can actually allow it to do multiple different things. So an AI, an AGI, the artificial general intelligence, could maybe get you a beer, wash your clothes, get your pizza, do all of that kind of stuff, be the self-driving car, be whatever you want it to be. It can combine all these different algorithms together, but as if you will, different narrow AI algorithms are connected together in order to build like a greater intelligence. Spoke about that. So with SingularityNET, we're using the OpenCOG framework for this. So OpenCOG is basically a sort of an integrated system of different hypergraphs that have different labels and different weights. So you could, for example, let's take Sophia as an example. She is a women in STEM proponent. Why is she a women in STEM proponent? Because we basically weighted women in STEM for her more. That's why she likes it. So she is programmed to like it, right? So that is exactly like what we're doing with OpenCOG. You have all these different components basically in it. Let me just see if this over here. No. You have all these different components in it that starts with a graph. And so let's say you have the World Cup at the top, right? And then underneath it, you have different teams, different countries, that kind of stuff. And let's say that you also have an AG like Sophia, okay? And she likes the Dutch team of this World Cup play. Then there's like an extra weight attached to this Dutch team within the context of the World Cup, so she is cheering for Holland when we're playing. So hands-on robotics and hands-on AI is also being embedded within the SingularityNET framework. And hands-on AI approaches it as a whole organism architecture. So this means that you're not only combining the standard input of data that we already have, but you're combining like different inputs, such as audio and visual that, for example, Sophia might be experiencing, to create more of a whole experience of data that is inputted into the AI algorithms. So this creates a more natural, if you will, experience in the future with AI. I think we're with time. So in order to create like beneficial AI, we need to create a framework where powerful and scalable AI can be created by any knowledgeable developer that's willing to participate in our ecosystem. It needs to be profitable, because otherwise people won't start doing it. They might go for the easier solution. So it needs to pay off, obviously. It needs to be democratically governed and community oriented, so that everyone can have a vote. So with the AGI token, one of the utilities is that you can actually vote in future as well on decisions. And it needs to retain this democratic and beneficial emphasis as AGI emerges, so that we all can participate into this ecosystem forever. I'll skip that. So when we're bringing together different aspects, so the community, the developers, and studio, and consulting, what we're doing, we're creating this SingularityNET ecosystem and corporation of value that benefits different groups within this ecosystem without leaving anyone behind. So the technology and community together, they interact and collaborate on the platform development. The community and consulting together can create great ideas for research directions and discussions and debates. The studio and the consulting together can create great end user applications, right? And the developers and the studio together can create great applications for on the marketplace itself so that everybody can use them. So this is in a very brief, short introduction to what SingularityNET is to the people that didn't know what SingularityNET is, and hopefully it also clears up some questions for the people that did know what SingularityNET is. I think that we can go now to questions and interaction. Yes.
Yeah. Quick question, is the Nature 2.0 challenge based on that you use SingularityNet? Or can you,
It's
does
not
it have to be part of it?
No, it's not. It's not based on a singularity. On that, it doesn't have to be part of SingularityNET Architect. It's just one of the tools that you're getting from Nature 2.0 to eventually create whatever you want to create. So on the 21st of March, we have a couple of senior engineers flying over, and they will walk through the whole architecture of SingularityNET in more detail. It's really focused on developers, that workshop, and then you'll learn how to use it for your idea potentially. Yeah.